Hi guys, I hope you're all well and thank you for returning to share a few minutes with me. Okay, my home and life is disorganized today again, so you are going to get videos in bits and pieces today. Yes, load shedding is back with a vengeance. And although we are now slowly moving to a little bit of independence from electricity, there's always something left behind, something forgotten, like forgot to fill a gas canister, forgot to charge a phone or a laptop, and the generator can only run so many appliances. But I'm taking it in my stride. It is just time consuming and tends to upset our household routine at least for a day or two until we again lapse into a new routine. Okay, guys, I'm still working on those clips for you. It is taking a little longer than expected, but you'll get it either later today or tomorrow. For now, in this short video, I once again have questions for you. And the first one is, what the heck is going on with the Harkles? I showed you a screenshot of the email to Penguin, which I sent to Penguin USA and CC'd to Penguin South Africa. The local guys did a trade inquiry and was told that there is a delay, but that the book will be out before Christmas. Then I heard Tom Bauer say in an interview that it will likely only be released during Easter next year. But he also retracted and said that it's only a guess as the Harkles need the money. Okay, and then it was all over that Netflix is refusing to postpone the docu-series. However, now it is all over the news that Netflix had agreed to postpone it, and apparently it has something to do with the backlash they're getting for The Crown. But now let's get to the crux of the matter. Remember when I told you about the industry gossip? Remember that I told you that the gossip is that should Netflix be forced to postpone the documentary, they will likely shelve it completely. Remember? And remember, I told you that if that happens, Harry and Meghan will be done in the industry. Done. They will be stuck with a half-produced Pearl, half-produced Heart of Invictus, half-produced At Home with the Sussexes documentary, and nowhere to take it to. No one will touch it. Well, guys, if it is true that both the book and the docu-series are postponed, and as result will likely not ever see the light of day, or at least not anytime soon, then what does that tell us? Firstly, if it is postponed or shut down completely as a result, what happens to the money Netflix and Penguin had already paid the Harkles as a retainer and or for production? Will it have to be paid back? What happens to the actual money Netflix had spent to help with footage and production? You know, those guys with the big cameras who shadowed the Harkles, for instance? How will the likes of Ben Browning be paid for the months of work that he had put in? And more importantly, where will the Harkles get their income from over the next few months? What happened to Better Up? Is Harry still involved with Better Up? Or had he been ditched there as well? Okay, so if their income has now been cut, at least for the next 6 months, how are they going to maintain their lifestyle? Pay wages, pay for their security, pay for the upkeep and maintenance of the mansion, and so forth and so forth. Will Meghan's podcast money pay for it all? I don't think so. Have you guys seen the production team on Meghan's podcast? Remember, all those people have to be paid. So, okay, next. And this is the ultimate question. If the income stream is cut off or blocked, will they go back to the monarchy? I'm hearing more and more that regardless of everything that had transpired, King Charles is still willing to forgive and would prefer them back in the fold. And if there is someone whom I pay attention to as far as her intuition regarding the royal family goes, it is Angela Levin. And then also Dickie Arbiter from time to time. And both of them have said on occasion that it is Charles's wish to have his son back in the royal fold. Yes, many have also said it will never happen, but I have a feeling in the pit of my stomach that it may. Now, will Meghan return or just Harry? I don't know. There is lots of talk of their relationship being on a very shaky ground because of the Netflix deal, the book deal, the insecurity regarding their own and the children's titles. I'm told that Meghan wants the docu-series out. Meghan wants the book out, but that there is pressure from elsewhere, maybe even threats of a legal nature, for it not to come out, and that Harry is caving to the threats and pressure. Now, do I know what the truth is? No, I don't. And at this point, I think it is all speculation based on simple logic. I think it is clear enough that there are issues one way or the other with the release of the book and the series, which means there is financial pressure. And when there is financial pressure, most relationships do suffer. What will Meghan do? Well, Meghan will do what is best for Meghan. So we will have to wait and see. In the meantime, I'm going to try my best to find out the truth about the docu-series and the book by attempting yet again to get the information from the horse's mouth, as I do not trust Twitter and neither do I trust mainstream media. The other thing we need to consider is if the book and the series are both shelved, what happens to the money Harry pledged to the likes of Centre Barley and Invictus and other charities from the income? Is that what was meant when it was said that Charles will pay for it not to be released? Is it a case of not him paying Netflix or Penguin the money Harry will owe as a result, but paying the money to the charities which Harry pledged to? I think that is an option we have not looked at yet. And what happened to the heart of Invictus? I was under the impression that it was a completely different and separate documentary from the Harkles reality show or docu-series. If you Google it, you will see that it has a completely different production team and everything. So, what is happening with that? Guys, none of this makes any sense to me. And I'm not falling for the excuse that all these endeavors are being postponed due to the Queen's death. That, I think, is just an excuse. Just like Diana's death had been used by the Harkles as an excuse for many other things. So, what do you think? Do any of you have any answers or any particular feeling about all of this? Okay, so now that we have dealt with all of this, please hang around for another minute or two. On your screen is a blind item which has caused quite a stir on Twitter and Instagram. It refers to the possible surrogate, if you haven't guessed already. Now, I have questions for you. Ones I have been wanting to ask you for a very long time, but decided to shut up about it until I couldn't anymore. And this blind is the perfect introduction to my questions. So here it comes. If there was a surrogate, which of the following would be more likely? 1. Did Archie and Lily have the same surrogate, or were they two different surrogates? Number 2. If the blind is true and the surrogate is not available anymore, what would be the most likely scenario? 1. She now has 3 children of her own, all of whom were conceived by IVF. She is now older and her own children need her more. Or she is a young woman who now has a career after she completed her studies. So tell me what you think is more likely. In the case of two surrogates, do you think it is possible that both scenarios could be true? Please tell me what you think. But hang on, I'm not done yet. Hang on, hang on, hang on. In Britain, it is not legal to pay a surrogate for his services. At most, a couple are allowed to pay the surrogate's cost, be it medical or whatever. So, if there were a surrogate or surrogates, what did the Harkles most likely do? 1. If the surrogate was a married woman with children of her own, could it be true that the Harkles bought them a house or paid off their mortgage? Number 2, if the surrogate was a young woman, did they pay for his studies and paid off his student loans? Or if you are someone who guessed that there were two separate surrogates, do you think both these statements could be likely? So tell me, what do you think is the most likely scenario? Okay, guys, I'm about halfway through the other promised video. If it takes too long, I may break it up in 1 or 2 videos in order not to keep you waiting too long. So, my dear friends, until we meet again on that video, please take good care of yourself. Bye.